Hi, this is a Technology Ridecast. I'm Mark Farley, and our special guest today is Gina MInks. Gina, how are you doing?
Hey, Mark. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Really, really good. So one of the things that I've been thinking about is if you're working with a SaaS vendor and they provide the service, they provide the data storage and all that, but it's still your data, how do you go about protecting your data in their facility? How does this work?
If you have a SaaS application, you don't have any access to any of the physical layer, and you don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Like in the case of Office 365, you don't want to deal with managing Exchange servers or a SharePoint farm. You want to give that all over to Microsoft and let them do it. And what they'll do is they'll take care of protecting the data mostly from a DR perspective, because for a SaaS provider, what their number one goal is uptime. They want to make sure that SaaS meets whatever SLA they give to you. So they'll do DR, failover, have multiple copies, redundancy, and some other things. But they're doing that for themselves. So you'll never have data loss from like one of their servers going down or a natural disaster or something like that. So they're going to make sure that the data is protected, so that uptime is protected. So the ways you can lose data are pretty much the same ways we lose data on premises. End users making silly mistakes. So from admins not really understanding what they're doing. You can get ransomware. You can get lots of configuration errors. If that happens, how do you get the data back? Because that's not something your SaaS provider will take care of.
Gina, do you think a lot of SaaS customers are even thinking about that kind of risk? You know, the protein robot screwing up or going renegade?
Not at all. Most people think that their SaaS providers take care of this, and they don't.
Right. How can they? How could they? So what should customers do?
Customers should back their data up just like they do on premises. I think Office 365 is a great example because you're using all of those productivity applications right now. So you use Exchange, you use SharePoint. You would never, ever have not protected Exchange on premises. We know users are going to do these kind of things, and we know if you have a backup, it's easy to do. If you don't have a backup, you can't do anything.
Yeah, so obviously you're working with a product that does this. This is part of your job. Do you want to give us just a quick overview of how this works?
Sure. So I work for Spanning, and we back up 3 SaaS applications. We have to back up Google Apps, Salesforce, and Office 365. And what we do is we have our own data center in the cloud. So we're cloud-to-cloud SaaS backup. So we're a SaaS application too.
Gina, thanks so much for coming on. I hadn't really been thinking through the whole picture. What do you do about the human being that screws things up? I'm glad to hear that you guys have a solution for it. Thanks so much for taking the time to spend with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me ride in the car again. This is awesome.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.